Those of y'all on replay, I am so sorry. I have no idea what happened. But good Lord. So hopefully that works. I'll give everyone a minute to come back. If they do. Okay. What's going on, Peter? I have no idea what happened to the video. Like, I loaded up my Landstar portal, put it on the screen, and then my computer was like, nah. And like kicked me off. Like my whole software froze up. Like I'd had to literally restart my computer. I have no idea what happened. Not a clue. But this is gonna be for load board inquiries. That's what this is gonna be about. So if you want to see something on the load board, there's only 3 things I need. Yeah, they do. Landstar was like, nah, not our load board. Click. There's 3 things. If you want to see stuff on a load board, there's 3 things I need. I need what division. Division meaning dry van, flatbed, or step deck. Or expedited if you're doing that, like box trucks or vans. Hot shot, whatever division. Whatever division, what state, city, or region that you're picking up from and where you would like to go, or whether you just want to see what picks up from your area going anywhere, and then we can go through it that way. So what division, where you're picking the load up from, or where you would like to pick the load up from, and if you have a destination, put the destination. But if not, just leave it blank. Just like, for example, like for me, I put dry van, Georgia, and then I leave destination blank. So I'll put dry van, Georgia. So I'll put dry van, any dry van loads picking up in Georgia, and I'll click search. And we'll be able to look at all the stuff. If you want to be super technical, you can put hazmat or no hazmat, team or no team, and then I can work it out from there. So what do y'all want to see? Because it's loaded up, it's ready to go. All I got to do is, throw it up on the screen, and then we can go ahead and look at the load board together. I don't think me showing the load board is nothing against Landstar's policy. Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville. It'd probably help if I put me on the screen, huh? Oop. Nashville, Tennessee. Dry van. Solo. No destination. So I'm going to open this up, or let's see, specifically out of Nashville, let's see how many you got. So currently 140 loads out of Nashville, Tennessee. So you can go to Washington as a solo driver for $5,400, 2,300 miles, $2.30 a mile is going to be your highest revenue. Now, something that I do when I'm searching for loads is I go to this button for RPM. It's for rate per mile. And if I click that twice, it sorts all the loads by rate per mile, so highest rate. So, boom, I would take this in a heartbeat. Picks up at 10:50 at night tomorrow, delivers on the 15th to Columbus, Ohio, 378 miles, 25,000 pounds, revenuing $2,200, so $5.80 a mile. I take that repeatedly. And if I can find something coming back, I'd absolutely do that. And it looks like they have more than one. They have several. And they're all paying the same. And that's straight out of Nashville and literally just going to Ohio. Let's see, anywhere else you can go. You can go to map and sort it from there. Like if you wanted to go to Colorado for whatever reason, there's a load paying $5,100 for 1,300 miles going from Nashville to Colorado. Okay. So next one is flatbed. Just all of Texas. I'm going to assume all of Texas. Not Midwest. Where are you? South? Oh, where's Texas? I can't imagine it's in the Mid-Atlantic. Yes, not. Southwest? Why is Texas in Southwest? So all of Texas for flatbed. I'm going to do flatbed and step deck because that still counts. It'll show you, it should show you regular flatbed, 48, 53 foots. And then for step deck, it'll show step deck, basically a step deck trailer, still 53 foot, but it will also show some oversized loads. So flatbed Texas, I'm assuming solo, so we'll look at that. 799 loads in the state of Texas right now for a flatbed step deck search. I'm gonna go ahead. So this, I can tell from right here, oversized load, 120,000 pounds. But for 120,000 pounds, 700 miles, $11,500. Texas to Oklahoma. Which I know that's going to be at the top again, but I'll search for it anyway. So regular flatbed, so step deck flatbed, 6,000 for 900 miles. Texas to Illinois, 3 days on it. 44,000 pounds, $6.55 a mile. So anytime that you guys hear that Landstar is not making money, I want y'all to remember this video because this video is not going to get saved. I'm not going to save this video and publish it. So if whoever's not here now, they're not going to see this. So that's flatbed Texas. You have multiple options. So $7,000, $8,000, $8,500. 1,800 miles, 35,000 for flatbed, and this is going to Canada. So this will be a Canada load. Yep. So flatbed from Texas to Canada, $8,500. What else is on here? Flatbed Texas, did that one. Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon to west. Dry van. I'm going to assume solo. So 73 loads on the load board with that right now. Or 73 solo loads. 1,200 miles, $8,100. This is power only. I can tell you right now, this is dedicated account. So how I know it's a dedicated account, it's from Portland, Oregon to Portland, Oregon. Power only, so it's not a Landstar trailer. It's whatever company it is. $8,100 is the breakdown. And yeah, I'm not going to click on the details because I'm not going to, put the information out there. That's just what I got. So $4,000, $3,000, 876 miles, Oregon to Montana, $4,400. So the breakdown is different, obviously. But I've already broken down this video before, so I'm not going to do it again on this video anyway. Solo flatbed Texas. I feel like I just did that. Oops. Multi Southwest Texas. Oh, I guess Texas going anywhere. I feel like I did do that. I just did this for solo flatbed. So we're gonna skip. Oh yeah, I see. Drive in Missouri to Florida, solo non-hazmat. No hazmat. Missouri to Florida. Is that drive-in? Drive-in. $66 loads. So highest revenue, Springfield, Missouri. Ironic. Springfield, Missouri to Miami, Florida. $6,000, 1,200 miles. This one has 2 stops on it. So I see that the very next one going to the same area from the same location for the same date. No stops on it. So that stop pays $500. So $5,500 Springfield, Missouri to Miami, Florida. It's basically $5,000, depending on where you want to go. So obviously they have multiple. So all of Missouri to all of these places in Florida. So Naples, $4,100. Coconut Creek, $4,600. Kissimmee, $4,800. So yeah, you get the idea. Does Landstar have fuel discounts and surcharge? Yes. Yes, we do. St. Louis, Missouri to anywhere. It's very specific. I'm going to just fill in the blanks. I'm going to assume that you're talking about drive-in and possibly hazmat, but let's say it's solo. So St. Louis, Missouri to anywhere. 140 loads available on the load board right now. If you want to go to Washington for 2,000 miles, $7,000. But I'm going to go ahead and do this little filter here. Highest rate per mile, Missouri, St. Louis to Tennessee, Martin, Tennessee, 200 miles, $1,400. And if you see Y right here, that means the fuel surcharge has been broken out. So I will actually open this one for accessorials. So fuel surcharge at 39 cents a mile. So you get $88.92 for 222 miles. So yes, here's your fuel surcharge breakdown. Not a lot of loads have that incorporated, but when you call and negotiate with the agent, you negotiate this fuel surcharge. But if it's left blank, I would like, if it's listed on here, that's what you're going to get. So this agent was being nice. So that's St. Louis. I can't do and back. So we have an app where we can do like to one place and then back to a place. But I can't do it on this portal. I have to do it on my phone. And I don't have a way to share my phone screen on this app or on this using the streaming software. Riding with Kev, what's going on, bud? Minneapolis. I'm going to assume Minnesota. To anywhere. Drive-in, I'm sure. Hazmat, sure doesn't matter. So if I'm guessing correctly, Minneapolis, Minnesota. To anywhere, 46 loads right now. Drive-in, cool. Got one going to California, 1,800 miles, $7,000. It's hazmat, that's why. I'm like, that's a lot to go to California. Usually California doesn't pay. They pay well, but not as high. So this is actually a really good load without me sorting through anything. I see this one right here, Minnesota to Pennsylvania. And you can haul this on a reefer trailer. So if you have a reefer trailer and you're thinking about Landstar, you can bring your reefer trailer. There's agents that will load reefer trailers. And there is reefer freight. So 1,000 miles, $5,200. 40,000 pounds, $496 a mile. So it looks like and it looks like delivery whenever you get there. So whenever I see 15 to 18 and I pick up the day prior, to me, this is an open appointment window. So I can get there between the next day and the 18th. Anytime between there, that's a good load. 5,200 miles, so 1,000. Let's just assume that this is going to take me a day and a half. I just made me and Landstar $5,200 for a shift and a half. So let's assume this will take a total of about 14 to 15 hours to do. That's not bad. And it's hazmat. Let's see. Delaware, PA to anywhere. Delaware. I'm gonna assume dry van, hazmat, solo. So, okay. Whenever I see this huge number, I don't click search. I'm not looking at a page full of 3,600 loads. You know what I mean? So whenever I do this, whenever this comes up, and this is what they teach you if you come to Landstar, if you see 3,600 loads, you're looking at the load board of available loads right now in America, Razor. Whenever you see this high of a number, I come over here to minimum rate per mile, and I start off with like 350. You know what I mean? You go to load count and try and get this number down. So still over 1,500. Let's see. How can I change this? 450. Still over 1,000. More than 1,100 loads with over $4.50 a mile. Let's do $6 a mile. Still 481 loads with over $6 a mile. As a minimum. This is a minimum. $6 per mile. I doubt it's going to go up to 7, but just to get this load count number down, all right, 291, which is still high, we'll go for it. $11.86 a mile. 400 miles. I might go deadhead for this load. 400 miles, $5 grand, 25,000 pounds. You'll be on it for less than 24 hours. And that's Pennsylvania to New York. 409 miles, $11.86 a mile. So remember, my minimum rate per mile is $7 a mile is the lowest I see. Boom, PA to PA, 78 miles total. $1,500 for 78 miles. 147 miles, $2,300. PA to PA, PA to PA. You know, and sometimes these aren't dedicated. These are just loads that need to go out. And they just pay that well. Like tires generally pay pretty okay. Hazmat always pays well. 2 grand, 125 miles. 110 miles, $1,400. 110 miles, $1,500. 217 miles, 3 grand. You know what I mean? 409 miles, 5 grand. Oh, we already looked at that one. So, like, this is the stuff that I look at. Like, this is the stuff that I see on a daily basis. So that's Delaware to PA. Georgia to Texas. Very specific. I'm going to fill in the blanks here. Georgia, Texas solo dry van. I'm going to assume hazmat. 400 loads right now. Some doesn't seem right about that. Guess it is. 800 miles, 2,700 bucks. So as you can see, it pays well to go to certain areas, and sometimes it doesn't pay as well, but it's still pretty fortunate to still run those same loads. So like 2,700, 831 miles, Georgia to Dallas. I'll be on it for a day and a half. And I know I can get something coming back for this, if not more, coming right back. And that makes up that, 5-6 grand a week for basically 2 to 3 days worth of work. So it's not all about taking one load. Remember, a lot of this stuff is just like this. First of all, this is all solo freight. A lot of this stuff is like a day or two. So $4,700 for 2 days worth of work. And you still have 5 days left in the week. So let that sink in. Now, again, so let's take this number, right? Let's do something without stop. So 4 grand, right? I'm going to show you how to do a breakdown. So no stops, 4,000, for, let's say, 3 days. 3 days worth of work, $4,000, 1,161 miles, right? So 1161. The fuel surcharge changes weekly for Landstar. A lot of agents do 39 cents a mile. So let's say $453 for the sake of me sucking at math. So $453. How you break down these numbers, and this is what you would get in fuel surcharge, right? $4,000 is total revenue. So 453, you will take 4,000 minus 453, which is your fuel surcharge. So this is what the line haul is. You multiply that by your 65%. That's what you would get, and re-add in your fuel surcharge, which was 453. So 3 days, this is what you would get to your bank, $2,758.55. That's how much this load actually pays. So day and a half, 2 days, what is it? Was it 3 days? So let's just say 3. So divided by 3, you're clearing $919 to the truck per day. And I don't know about anybody else from Prime, but my minimum at Prime was $600. I wanted to clear at least $550 to $600 a day to the truck. At Landstar, my goal is $800, and I average 1,200 miles. Me personally, I average 1,200 miles or $1,200 per day to my truck. So that's just me. So that's how you break down these numbers. Let's see. What does Wi-Fi mean? So this Y means it's direct. See this direct right here? If it's direct, that means that we cannot negotiate anything from this. So fuel surcharge is set amount, stop pay is set amount. You can't negotiate this rate if it says Y. If there's 5, it means it's 5 stops. 5 stops on the load, and it's a direct customer, so you can't negotiate the rate. Which is why a lot of times I will take these because it's a set rate, and a lot of times I'll look for the no. Only because I'll see what time it picks up from here, and then I'll look up what my local time is and see how bad they need that freight moved. And oftentimes, if it's no, and it's $3,700, and this picks up in like 2 to 3 hours, I guarantee you that number is going to go up. Guaranteed. So I like negotiating freight, so I always look for no. Sometimes. That's what I do. So there's a crash course on how to read the load board. Let's see. Now I gotta watch the first part I missed. Do I need a co-driver? I don't know about a co-driver. I'm really weighing the option of buying a second truck and putting a driver in it if you're interested in that. Co-driver, I really enjoy my solo life. I don't really need it. I don't really need a co-driver. Flatbed step deck. I don't know what is PAPS. What's PAPS? Is it perhaps? Name a long-term goes real quick. I've been with Landstar 3 weeks. Which transponder are you using for tolls? I got one from EasyPass MA, but I realized I was missing. I have BestPass. Yep. So this is what I have. BestPass. I think it's BestPass Complete Scout. So BestPass Complete Scout covers all of the states in all the regions, so that's what I specifically pay for. I looked into EasyPass, and it didn't cover as many states as BestPass did. Now, with BestPass, you have the option, especially at Landstar. One, we get a discount for being Landstar BCOs, but you get to look at BestPass, whether you just want it to cover tolls, or you can get the option where it's BestPass and your pre-pass in the same device. Like me personally, I use DriveWise off of my Qualcomm. I like using the DriveWise system, so I only got just tolls. You know, because me having a newer truck, I'm okay with pulling in way stations because I know I'm going to pass. And if anything, it helps Landstar CSA score. So I got the one without the pre-pass on it, but just tolls. But I use BestPass. It auto drafts out of my I put like it's like either $200 or $300 in that little pot for it to deduct tolls out of. And then I just drive. And then at the end of the month, it'll come up you know, how many tolls I used, if it needed to refresh my account, because it'll deduct up until like a certain limit, and then it'll draft from your account to get back to whatever that, you know, $200 or $300 was. So at the end of the month, I get a little statement, shows me all the tolls I took, how much it cost, what my discount was, how often I took it, you know, a whole breakdown of stuff. So yeah. I know I asked, can I see again? Oh, my brother's calling me. Is it important?
You better speak to me on your live.
Oh, why are you watching on my live? Oh, you say hey to me? Oh, let me get back to it. Let me call you back. Let me get back to the people. Bye. Well, let my baby tell my baby. I say hey, Joanna. Sorry, that's my brother. I know I asked, can I see you again? Solo flatbed, Texas, Texas, or Texas, Oklahoma round trip. I can't do round trip on this site, but I can do Texas to Texas. Can I explain fuel surcharge? It really depends. It really depends. Asian Mai, wow, I am honored. I am honored that you joined my live, sir. Me doing God's work, you are out here doing God's work. The fuel surcharge, William, I can explain it, but the way I explain it is really circumstantial to what avenue that you're taking is. Whether that is driving for a mega carrier because they have their own fuel surcharge rules. Like the way I can explain fuel surcharge is either the Prime way, because I used to work for Prime, or the Landstar way because I currently work for them. So it really depends. But basically, in a nutshell, fuel surcharge is what that customer is paying to cover a certain amount of fuel for your truck for you to take that load somewhere. So that's what I do. How do I know what loads are worth? Like when negotiating, how high do you start off with? If you see me reading this, it's because there's a Twitch chat because I'm also streaming on Twitch. I negotiate based off of what that there's a lot of different things, but basically whatever they have it set for, I use that as a minimum. And then I dive into, okay, how much does it weigh? Where is it picking up from and where is it going? And what exactly it is. So all those are different factors of how I negotiate. And then like I said, I look for those last minute loads because I have all the power. So if they're trying to pay someone $3,200 for a load, and I see that no one has agreed to it, but they need that load moved, automatically I'm like 39, 38, you know what I'm saying? They'll haggle with you until you meet in the middle. And that's what that's how I negotiate my loads. Arden, North Carolina, dry van, $5 minimum. Hey, Niall. So Niall's my brother. I see your comment now. You see I was behind you. Didn't you call me? Arden, North Carolina. Let me go back. Arden, North Carolina, dry van, $5 minimum. I'm going to assume solo hazmat and dry van because I don't know. There's three loads specifically in Arden, but what I'll do is I'll open it up to 50-mile radius. Boom, 40 miles. $5 a mile minimum. New Jersey, 600 miles, $3,500. Florida, super light and hazmat, 5,390, $2,800, $5 a mile. So, like I said, what I do, I sort by rate per mile. Boom, you have something from South Carolina, Greenville to Chester, 79 miles. Someone's paying $1,000 for that. Someone's paying $1,000. Now you have to sit on it, but if you live in or around Greenville, South Carolina, you can pick that up, $1,000. You can pick it up and literally go home, wake up, go deliver it. And if this is repeatable, you can run that all day long. Sorry. That's, $12 a mile. Then it keeps going. $10 a mile, $9 a mile, $8 a mile, $7 a mile, $6 a mile. I take this 154 miles, $1,000 going to Atlanta. Only because I know, me living in Atlanta, I know what kind of market Atlanta is. Atlanta is a booming market. And you know, when I'm starting to wrap it up, I'll show you what I look at when I go to look for a load. I'll be able to apply Landstar next month. I appreciate you for spreading knowledge. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. There's a lot of people who talk a lot of mess about Landstar, but they don't get the full story. They're like, they'll see that big number, and then, you know, they'll see a load going 300 miles and it'll pay $4,000, you know, and then they'll be like, oh, Landstar is taking 35% of that $4,000. Like, no, they're not. They're like, well, what do you know? I'm like, I drive for them. What do you mean? What do you know? Like, you drive for Schneider. You know what I'm saying? Using as an example, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, but I'm like, a lot of people talk mess about Landstar. A lot of people are like, oh, it's 35%. They're robbing you guys. Like, I literally just looked up a newsletter that they send out every month, and there's been a BCO, a driver, who's been here for 40 years. Or was it 40? Yeah, I think it was 40 years. He was 40 years last month. Like, bro, it's owner operator only, and we're here for a reason. So, hey, that's just me though. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Complete Scout is the transponder I just ordered. I use the drive wires on OmniTracks too. Videos like these are what made me take the leap, Landstar. I'm just trying to do it for the people. That's all I'm trying to do. Chicago in the house. What's going on? I hate your city. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate your traffic. And this is me coming from Atlanta. So, World of Warcraft's at 50% right now. What you looking to pay your driver if you get a second truck? That's something that I'll probably put out on the video if I do decide to go ahead and get a second truck. If I am going to be looking into hiring a driver. What I'm going to pay them is going to come down to who that driver is. Like, you know, come down to interview. But that's something I need to think about it as an owner. So I can't answer that question, especially not on the stream. Why being an owner-operator makes it more fun? Absolutely. Don't need to deal with the fleet manager sales. Exactly. I can literally call any agent that has a load available, like, I want this load. And they're like, okay, that's it. There's no like, oh, let's see what we can work on to get in that area. Or, oh, can you run this load first? And then we can go ahead and see if we can get you back that way after this load. Or if you can repower this driver and go the other direction, then we can go ahead and get you something good coming back. I don't have to deal with none of that. I literally just hop on a load board. Okay, I want to go here. Call the agent, book the load, boom, I'm going there. That's literally what I do. Like, it's so easy. Can you do Raleigh, North Carolina, the South region? Drive in? Yes, I can. Back to the load board. Raleigh. South. What else did you say? South region, drive in. I'm going to assume hazmats, and you said solo. So it's 13 loads specifically in Raleigh, North Carolina. If I open it up to 50 miles, 84. You know what I mean? I literally, so right now, in all of Landstar's load board, there's 85,000 loads available on the load board. A lot of times, if you like leave it at 0, you're only going to see 13. But if you're willing to drive at least an hour somewhere, you instantly get 60 more, 60 more loads available to you. So Raleigh, North Carolina, the South region. I'm gonna go ahead and sort by rate per mile. You can go 140 miles same day for $900 if you want. Same day. Go to Florida, $6 a mile, $1,800 for 200 miles. I'm sorry, Virginia. 300 miles, $1,800. 300 miles, $1,500. 184, I don't know. It's kind of low for me. Me personally, I wouldn't take it. But yeah, they're just going off rate per mile. 139 miles, $550. That's what you do. So let's see. I'm seeing the other one, and this is one I actually like to look at. So Machiavelli, Georgia to Georgia. I actually look at this pretty often. Drive van. Solo. This is actually one of my filters, but if I activate a filter, you'll be able to see my tractor number. And apparently we're supposed to keep that hidden. So 178 loads currently in Georgia. From Georgia to Georgia. I knew that was gonna come up. So this stuff, like tow away stuff, I go ahead and ignore. So all this right here is dedicated. That's all dedicated. Now, if I want to be dedicated, obviously I would call these people, but that's all dedicated. So going outside the dedicated realm. So I see Georgia, Georgia. This is one of those round trip loads. So this has got to stop. I see it's 2,100 miles. I'm curious to what that stop is. Let's see what it is. So it looks like Georgia to Massachusetts, back to Georgia. It looks like it's 2 loads in one. First load is 43,000. Second load 11,000. Final delivery Wednesday morning. So there you go. Let's see. Oh man, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. So yeah, Georgia, Georgia, solo hazmat. How long is sign-on time with Landstar realistically? Realistically, it's about a month to a month and a half. Yep, Big Chris answered your question. 30 to 45 days is sign-on time for Landstar if you have your stuff together, for sure. Darren, what's going on, man? I didn't see you sneak in here. Anything good out of Las Vegas? I don't think so. Oh, sorry, I can't spell. Still can't spell. You didn't do a division, so I'll do flatbed, step deck, and dry van. And I'll show teams too. 244. I want to know details on that. So from the 13th and can deliver next day, I found, okay, this is dedicated, guaranteed. Guaranteed this is dedicated. This is probably dedicated too. This is not. So 10 grand, $9,800 for 2,700 miles, $9,400 for 1,000 or 1,200 miles less, which is why I sort by the rate per mile. $26, 300 miles, $8,100. Oh, that's dedicated for sure. Dedicated. Minnesota, $9,400 in Minnesota. 8 grand for 1,800 miles. I would do this 2 days. 2 days for $8,000, and it's direct. And your fuel surcharge has already been broken out. So fuel surcharge has already been broken. If I clicked on this load, you will see the fuel surcharge is already broken out of this, and it's direct, so you can't negotiate that. But for 2 days, so this is a team load, 8 grand. You can't beat that, man. I don't know about anybody else, but that's just me. Tell them about agents calling, texting, emailing you out of the blue. Hey, man, I'm telling you, if I forget to turn off that setting, these agents will call and text you all time. Well, I won't say all times of the night, but during the daytime, especially me who drive, a person who drives at night, they will call you, and like, I'm not gonna say harass you, but they'll call you to see if they can get that load covered for sure. Chicago to the South region, I'm gonna assume van. I'm gonna assume solo. I'm gonna assume hazmat. And then again, this is load specifically labeled as coming out of Chicago. So 114. I guarantee you, if I open this up to 50 miles, that's probably gonna like double, if not more. See what I mean? So that like tripled. But strictly out of Chicago, 114 loads. Yeah, I knew it was gonna say Florida. 1,100 miles, boom. You know what? I'll take that all day long. Especially Orlando. I'll dead hit up Jacksonville every time. 3 days, and I know I can get a load out of Jacksonville playing baller. I can probably pull off an $8,000 to $9,000, if not $10,000 to $11,000 week, if I start off the week with this. I could probably pull off a $10,000 week. And I've done it before. So this is actually 2.5 days. So you still got 4.5 days to work with the rest of the week. And this delivers in the morning. Especially if you can park there overnight, get you a fresh 10-hour break for that morning. Which, is that a Monday? And it's a Monday. So depending on what your payroll days are, you can make bank with this load right here. You can make so much bank with that load. But let's go for rate per mile. So let's see if it'll keep you in the region. Illinois to Kentucky, 286 miles, $2,100. So here's where like stuff like this, where it's such a huge drastic difference, same miles, different weight. So this one's actually heavier but paying less. But you see how it says no? Chicago to Hebron. I can safely assume that this is probably the same load, except that this is picks up in the morning, delivers same day. But this one can too. So I can safely assume this is the same load. But the only difference is you can negotiate with this agent because it's not direct, but you cannot negotiate with this one because it's direct. Which means this is good or bad when it says direct. So you can take that load if it's a good load for you, or I would call on this load, even though it's a different day, but still same day. I'd call on this load and negotiate higher than that. That's why I like choosing non-direct loads. That's exactly why I like choosing non-direct loads. Because it can go good, it can go very well, or it can go very bad. Oh, I won't say very bad. It's still, it'll still pay. I mean, don't take cheap freight. It's your business. But those non-direct loads, I call every time. Because the ball's basically in your court if no one else is calling about them. No problem. I got approved last September. Started my journey January 2nd. I'm going to do 30,000 with Eric. Hey, I hope so, man. Still at prime, but really thinking of making a leap. Can you do northeast, maybe Philly with a 100-mile radius? Yes, I can. I'm almost caught up on comments, I promise. While I try to type Philly. What's it? Philadelphia. How do you spell Philadelphia? Philadelphia. Yeah. I do a 100-mile radius. Where'd you say? Northeast, Philadelphia, 100-mile radius. I'm going to assume that it's drive-in. I'm going to assume you're a solo driver and you're able to haul hazmat because you kind of have to. You don't have to haul hazmat. You don't have to haul hazmat here. You have to have your hazmat endorsement. So that's what I look at when I assume hazmat is you're actually going to haul hazmat. So that's what I do. 100-mile radius to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As a solo driver, drive-in, hauling hazmat, you have 4,500 loads on the load board right now. So like I said earlier, what I do, I go to minimum rate per mile I'm willing to haul. We'll go ahead and start at $4 a mile. Still over 1,000? $5 a mile. Still over 1,000? $6 a mile. I just keep going up until I start getting to the hundreds. 700. If I can get under like 200, that's what I try and look for. So let's do $8 a mile. Still 300 loads available at a minimum of $8 per mile. So just to show people there's money to be made at Landstar, you don't have to drive across the country to make money. You can drive 46 miles for $32 a mile, pulling 3,500 pounds for $1,500 for an hour's worth of work. I try and make this number to the day, like per day to my truck. If it's 50 miles, I will call that agent and ask how many they got. And I'll run that back. I'll run this load like 4 or 5 times a day. So let's just say 1,500. Let's say you can do this load 4 times a day. And that's the low end. That's just assuming that you're going to do an 8-hour workday. That's $6,000 per day to your truck if they have multiple loads. Now, 46 miles, let's assume they don't do fuel surcharge out of this. So let's take out your percentage for Landstar. Oh, oops. 1,500 times 4. multiply by 0.65. So that's $3,900 take home to your business per day if you ran that load 4 times. It's 3,500 pounds. I can't imagine you're going to sit in the dock for, you know, more than I'll safely assume an hour or two. So, I mean, but everybody else can agree, you know, no money at Landstar, whatever. You know, that's cool with me. More for the rest of us. I'm just trying to help out the people because I enjoy doing YouTube and I see a lot of naysayers spreading out bad information, and that's really all I'm doing. Any Canada loads, yes. So if I just do just Canada as a destination and leave my pickup open, I'll leave teams open. I want to assume 100 loads right now going to Canada from all over the place. So California, 3,500 miles. I bet you that's there and back, guaranteed. So actually, let me see. I'm actually going to take teams off of this because it throws off some of my numbers. That wasn't even a team load. That was so this is a solo load. There's no way this is a solo load. Anyway, rate per mile. Michigan and Ontario, 78 miles, $900. And well, you have to sit on it for a night, but hey, 174 miles, $1,200. 512 miles, $3,200. $6 a mile. That's New Jersey to Ontario. 500 miles for $3,200. So from what I remember when I was at Prime, if I was doing a load for 500 miles, that rate per mile was probably like $1.35 to like $1.76. If my Prime people are here, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But all I'm saying is you can't make good money at Landstar. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I haven't done Atlanta specifically. But I will. I will do Atlanta. Oh man, thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. I will. I'll show out of Atlanta because I'll show you how I actually come off of home time. Hey, mom. 6 to 8K gross weeks at Atlanta are super easy to do. All right, Chris. I'll catch you later. Catch you later, Reese. Thanks for the super chat, man. About to drive 480 miles. See what I'm saying? 480 miles for $700. Does Landstar run Amazon Relay? No, I don't believe so. I don't know for sure. I don't do power only loads. So I don't know if we do Amazon Relay. Could afford the fuel. That's what I'm saying. Thanks for sharing, man. You're very welcome. Pray for you. Cantaloupe stopped in August. Yeah, see. Man. About that Prime period, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But like I said, I was only popping on here to show you guys load board real quick because I did promise on my last stream I was going to do it. So this video will not be saved on YouTube. You will not be able to access this video again. So if you're not here now, you're not going to see it again from me. You know, outside of me showing how I look for loads if I'm actually on the road. But I'm not going to do another load board demo. Outside of my quarterly review for Landstar, I'm not going to do a pay video. And actually on that video, I'm not even going to show my settlements. I'm just going to write the numbers down. And that's going to be it for me. Sapphire is out of ICU. I have her in my possession. She's parked, snuggled up to my trailer right now, ready to roll. So we're going to see. Can you tell me where closest 120-day shop is to you? Yes, I can actually. Am I on Instagram? Yes. So if you go to Jlogic.live on your web browser, JLOGIC.live, you'll see my Twitch channel, you'll see my Instagram, and you'll see my YouTube. Open up the wrong app. Landstar on road inspection site for Arden, North Carolina. Oh man, you have a lot. You have a lot of inspection sites in near Arden, North Carolina, like a ton of them. I can't tell you the closest because that's, I mean, okay, yes, I can tell you the closest. The closest one is a Pilot in Waynesville, North Carolina. That's the closest inspection site for you. 152 miles. Next closest one is the TA in Duncan, South Carolina. But if you're coming to Landstar looking for a shop to do your inspection, your recruiter will give you a list of close inspection sites to you. Or not your recruiter, your processor. You missed the load board, man. Is Prime a god company? Oh, is Prime a good company? Yes, Prime is a good company. I would not be here talking about what I can talk about, making the money that I make, or doing the things that I do on my channel if Prime was not a good company. Because even though I no longer work for them, it's still how I got here. Like I can't knock them. Like they did me wrong, but they really didn't. It's really hard to explain. You can go back and look at my videos about that. But the owner had my back, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Prime. So yes, Prime's a good company. I'll be waiting all night for you to get on World of Warcraft. Do I have my own fuel card? If you do you still get 100% of fuel surcharge? I have the fuel card through Landstar. From what my understanding is, you can have your own fuel card, but in order to get your discount, you'll have to pay full price for the fuel, and then you'll have to send in your receipts to someone at Landstar, and then they'll have to give you credit for like your IFTA stuff, the miles you ran, your IFTA credit stuff. It's a whole process. That sounded like a huge headache for me, so I'm going to use Landstar's fuel card. I do my truck insurance through Landstar as well. I have a $2 million cargo policy and good truck insurance. I think my premium, I don't remember what my premium is. I have good insurance. Prime is a great starter company. Hopefully I'll be able to play before I got to pass out. Maybe. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm ending this video because it's on YouTube and I'm about to play video games. So I'm going to end this stream and I'm only going to stream on Twitch. So you can use First Guard, but Landstar doesn't specifically work with First Guard. But First Guard, you can insure your own truck if you want. And First Guard is a great carrier to do that through. So if you want to continue talking to me, not like I'm cutting you guys off. I love you guys. You know, I just reached 3,000 subscribers thanks to you guys. And also I appreciate the super chats. But I'm going to turn off this stream because it's connected to YouTube. And then I'm going to start streaming over on Twitch. So y'all already know what it is. Like I say, if you're thinking y'all might as well do it logically, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.